Steve Zahn from the new
Hi, buddy.
ABC show, The Crossing.
Good to see you.
What's going on, man? How are you?
I'm good. I'm really good.
How are you?
Oh my God.
I was going to introduce you as Spence from All My Children. That's how most of us know you.
Yeah. Yes.
How old were you? Were you a young guy when you did that, or were you a kid?
Spence?
Yeah.
I was, you know, you moved to New York. You're an actor.
Oh, okay. So you were
And
like,
yeah, I was like, I moved from Boston and came here. And those jobs were amazing because they paid your rent in one shot. They were called under fives. You'd have under 5 lines, not over.
you're telling me that's my whole career's been under fives.
Under fives, exactly.
Yeah.
And you know who else was on that
So
show?
the-
Parker Posey.
But the
Oh,
minute,
wow.
The minute
Yeah.
you hit 6 lines, it was like, now that's a different category.
Now, exactly. It was like,
Now I'm a semi-regular.
I never got above that, so I don't even know what that was.
Oh.
But
Was Parker Posey totally unknown? Was it before House of Yes and all that stuff?
Parker and I, the first job I ever did in New York was with Parker. It was like these HBO did these kind of like family, I forget, they were like learn a lesson. It was kind of like an after school special.
Yeah.
And I did one, it was like about AIDS, and Parker and I were the friends of the stars. And we had like, yeah, we got in trouble for laughing, I remember. And then we got in trouble on that soap, and then we did Suburbia together. So
Who were
Wow.
the stars though? Do you remember who the 2 stars were that you guys were?
No,
or were they not
I don't.
that?
I can't remember. But one of the guy won like an acting competition on TV or something.
I just love that, like,
What was that show?
I don't know. An acting competition. I don't know.
Yeah, remember
The Oscars?
No.
that show.
No, remember they would come on and there was an
Like it was like American Idol, but for actors.
yeah.
Wow, I probably never saw it.
Yeah, come on, somebody help. You know,
Like
what
they
I'm
would act
talking
out
about.
scenes and
Who
stuff?
hosted it? It was Rosie,
Oh,
right? What?
She's
I
got
can't
it.
remember. So hold on. I
Okay.
need glasses.
Yeah.
Star Search.
Oh,
Oh.
Star Search. Yeah,
Did they do acting
She can't
stuff on
talk.
Star Search?
What?
Did they do acting things on? I remember
I
Star
guess they would
Search.
do monologues.
No, they had like a category, an acting
Oh,
category.
I didn't know that.
Oh,
I didn't remember that.
And I guess they would throw you a scene and
I just love the idea that like these 2 stars are trying to do like this really serious thing about AIDS, and 2 new actors are just sitting there yucking it up in the
Yeah,
corner,
giggling.
just distracting
yeah,
everyone.
we got in trouble, and then we got in trouble on the soap too for laughing.
Soaps seem like they're hard to shoot because of the amount of you have to do it in a day, and it's got to.
It's impossible.
It is right.
It's really those people. It's just about memorization.
Except for the
It's
under
like
fives.
a-
I mean, it's easy if
Yeah,
you
you
get
guys
5
have-
lines. Yeah.
But I had one. I remember I had a speech once. It was very, very difficult because I had to split. I was a lifeguard, and I had to split everybody they were having an argument. I had to split them into teams for like water volleyball. So I had to go. I had to point to the person and go like, and it wasn't like Bob and
Yeah.
Karen. It was like Shansay and
Yeah, Shantae Marlena. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I didn't know who was who, which was insulting.
And so now you have to.
So I had to have cue cards, and it was embarrassing.
They have to wear stuff around their neck like fucking Duvall and The Godfather. When Brando to do his lines.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It seems like a hard way to make a living. Soaps, man.
Sticking Post-its on their heads with your lines on it.
That's the beautiful. When you can pull that off.
Yeah, that's what Brando would do.
Hey, I'm
apparently.
going no headphones, guys.
Yeah, that's
Good.
okay.
Good.
I just feel like it.
I know you did that like at the beginning. You're like,
Okay.
not yet. And then you're like, you know what? I'm just going to ride this out.
I'm crazy that way.
Yeah, you're unpredictable.
You
That's
are-
why we like having you on.
You regretted you said not
I don't have any
doing.
underwear on either.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Well, then
do
you
you
shouldn't
always
have
free ball
headphones
it?
on.
Yeah.
I don't like doing that. My bag sweats. All right.
Powder that shit. You got to powder it.
I've done it when I was a teenager and it was not good.
Well, probably too much.
Underpants are better.
Yeah. No, they are.
So you turned down Band of Brothers. I don't know if we've talked to you about that before, but you're a big. What made you turn that down? I know you
had
regret
to-
it.
It was the biggest regret. Yeah. Even if it was a piece of crap, it would have been the biggest regret. We were pregnant at the time, and it shot in like Ireland. It was one of those things. It was sometimes the logistics involved with making something counter your life and how you want to live. I mean, it would have been really difficult for me to do that.
But you wish you could have because you love
I'm
the military.
totally into that thing, and that was phenomenal.
Why didn't
and
you,
I knew Tom and Gary Getzman and all these other, and they knew that I loved it, and it was very difficult.
You were gonna join the Marines, but you didn't.
Yeah,
Why didn't you?
I was a pussy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's the
Hey,
same
look
reason
at
I never
that.
thought of it.
Yeah, no, I thought that was a smart move in high school, and that didn't last long. And the guys knew that I was interested at first. You know, the recruit guys,
And
they
then
would come to every football game. And
Yeah.
everything. And my mom was like, "Hey, tell them to go away."
Oh, they would come try to get you.
Well,
Every now
they
and
were just really like, "Hey, we're supportive. Whatever, we'll come to your play. We'll come to your
right.
football game."
Right.
They do whatever they can to get a
It was
recruit.
really incredible.
They would always know, like, they know they're good. The recruiters are really good in the military because they can tell who you are. Like, if you're an athlete, they know how to position that. Like, whenever in my school, the military recruiters would come in, like on career day, they'd always be there. And their opening line for me was like, we also have like computer stuff and stuff like that in the military. Just knowing that,
Yeah, totally.
like, I'm not going out on the battlefield.
Exactly. You have I saw on your thing that you like goldfish.
Right.
You have fish.
Right.
Well, we can do that. in
We
the
do
Marine
animal
Corps.
things all the time in the Marine Corps. Yeah.
Obviously, basic training is the thing that turns everybody off in the military.
Yeah.
Just because it's so difficult.
Who the fuck wants to do that?
Yeah, really.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I was kind of into it. And then I realized I was into it for the same reason that I do the job I do today. I was just kind of an idealistic.
The
kind
image of it.
Yeah, I just want to wear the uniform and pretend and run through the woods and build a fort.
Right.
And throw apples at cars.
Yeah.
It's really, and
Yeah.
I thought that's kind of, that sounds great.
Just do the cool stuff.
I don't have to go to math class.
Right. Right.
But then I remember they were like, "Hey, do you like tanks?" Like when I
They know.
when I
Yeah.
got-
They look. They
What guy
sense.
doesn't?
Yeah, awesome.
Fuck
Right.
yeah, I
Wanna
like
drive
tanks.
one?
Right.
Sign the paper,
Yeah. Yes. I'm a
and then
yes.
I didn't do it.
Look at,
Mom-
you signed it and didn't go?
Huh?
You signed
no,
it?
no, no,
Oh,
no,
you
no.
didn't sign it. Okay.
Mom, Dad, I signed up for the military. Why would you do that? I'm gonna drive a tank.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
Hey, it's either that or the theater.
Right. Right.
Oh,
And so
drive
you-
a tank.
So you ended up going into theater instead.
Yes, which
And-
is the next step.
I guess. Yeah. Was there like?
Yeah,
How
it's
did
one of the two. They're very similar.
Sniper, actor.
How did you deal with the lack of manliness that is generally associated with acting?
Is there? Well,
Yeah.
that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yeah, I never had a problem with that.
Yeah, Sam.
Even in high school.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's-
yeah. No, it was, if you're good at anything, it's,
people just respect
they
it
go
because
like,
you're good
"Oh
at
wow,
it.
you're a great, figure skater.
Right.
Holy crap, how do you do that?"
Right. So you were good at acting like from the beginning.
Yeah. It was something that I did well. I just never thought of it as a job.
Were you offended that Sam called your profession not masculine?
Well, as compared to being a Marine, I should say.
Radio
Like,
hosts and
there's-
Marines are very similar. we snipe sad times.
That's hours of boredom and minutes of sheer terror.
Yeah. It's all part of what we do here.
That's right, absolutely.
Sometimes I sit down, my chair will go.
Right. You have to make the call in an instant. Am I going to wear headphones or am I not going to wear
Exactly.
headphones? You don't know.
You care about each other.
What's your favorite military movie?
No,
if you,
your
if you love
business,
it,
man.
You're right. But I didn't really care. He wants to know, and he didn't have the courage to ask it.
Yeah,
so I
why
told
aren't
you he would.
saying anything? You're making me nervous.
Right.
Rob's over there
You're
videotaping.
in my kill zone.
Yeah. It's got to be Apocalypse Now.
Well, Apocalypse Now, that's not really a military movie, though. You
Oh.
know what I mean? I mean, Vietnam movie, let's be more specific.
Cambodia.
Vietnam, Full Metal Jacket.
See, I love the
Kubrick?
first 45 minutes, but the second part,
Oh, see, I love that too.
I just
love the
love
second part, too.
I love the old Marine. All I've ever asked my Marines is they obey my orders as they would the word
Arlie
of God.
Ermy.
No, that wasn't Arlie Army. Arlie Army was the DI.
Oh.
This was the guy over in Vietnam.
Oh, yeah.
Vietnam.
When they get over there.
Yeah.
There, son. I mean, the guy who's like, is that a peace symbol on your
Yeah.
kit?
What's that? Some kind of sick joke?
That's perfect.
So,
Good.
Yeah. Come on in for the big win. You guys the fucking best. I want to just take a fucking road trip with him.
Yeah, that guy.
All right, we'll take a giant shit on you. Come on in for the big win.
Dude, you know every line. It's
I
great.
do. Yeah, that's why no girl wants to fuck me.
yeah.
That never gets you laid. You remember the old guy from Full Metal Jacket when they're standing over there looking at those bodies in a lie pit? No, I don't. I'm
What's
23.
your name? I can't. Do you remember?
Yeah, exactly. That's first date material, right?
Yeah, exactly.
How come you think Apocalypse Now is
Who
not
am
a
I?
military?
Who am I? What movie?
Yeah, what movie is this?
I'm gonna take a
Yeah.
giant shit
Yeah.
on you.
You've heard that song, These Boots Are Made for Walking? Me so horny. Quick, what movie?
Movie.
Oh my god. Oh.
Yeah, what was that?
That's so
Adam Baldwin's
fun.
name in Full Metal Jacket. Go.
Go.
I always tell girls I'm on a date with, all right, if you can guess this, I'll fuck you. And it puts them on the defensive.
That's good.
If not,
If not,
Right.
you're out of luck.
70s and 80s movie trivia.
Yep, if not,
Gets them every time.
oh god.
Especially when you're dating, girls in their 20s. That really works.
I would love it. So, all right, so not Full Metal.
Why do you think Apocalypse Now is not a
It's not,
military?
I mean, it's Vietnam is the perfect backdrop for that story.
Mhm.
For that kind of epic journey story, down the river.
Yeah.
It just fit and it's brilliant.
Yeah.
So weird to see Harrison Ford in that movie, too.
It is.
Because he has
Yeah.
such a small part.
You know who else is in that movie? Arlie Ermy.
I didn't know that.
Yes.
Who does he play?
He's a helicopter pilot. When they start raiding he's one
Sure.
of the helicopters. He's very prominent too. I asked him about that when I did Saving Silverman with him.
Right.
And he was like, yeah, I was living, he told me that he was living in the Philippines. That's where they shot it. And he was the Marlboro guy. And a lot of ex-vets lived there. A lot of Vietnam vets lived in the Philippines. And he was like the Marlboro Man or something.
Wow.
And they were like, hey, there's movies coming. They're looking for vets
That's
to
amazing.
be in it. And he was like, great.
I did not know he was one of the fucking helicopter
I
pilots.
didn't either.
That's such a beautifully shot scene when they're all coming in off the water. That's
Yeah,
so
it's
great.
amazing.
The music.
I mean, how long did that take? I mean, you look at movies like that, and we're so used to seeing, effects and special effects, and
Yeah.
and man, that's all real, man.
Yeah.
Real helicopters, real
God.
synchronicity.
Yeah, choreographing that. Are you kidding?
I love when the lady throws the fucking hat in the helicopter.
Yeah, it's perfect, man. Shot up above, yeah,
It's great.
I'm going to watch that again just to see him.
yeah. You
Just
have
to-
to,
yeah, just to- Find the scene. So you're speaking of wars, this show that you're on called The Crossing.
yes.
Well, it takes
The war. Yeah, no. Yeah,
there's a
yeah,
war going
yeah.
on, or it's going to go on, and basically
Yeah.
the premise is that you're a sheriff in a small town,
Yeah,
and a bunch of bodies get washed up to shore, and when they come back to life, they say
don't
they're
come
fr-
back to life. There's dead bodies, but
Well,
they're 47.
Some of them are alive though.
Yeah,
I saw a
some
little girl
survive.
that was alive.
Some survive.
Right.
Some
Yeah, but it's not like a
survive.
Walking Dead thing.
They're not zombies
No,
from the
no.
future.
And look, I refrain from using the term time travel because immediately that puts it, to me, that makes it sound bad.
Right.
Time travel.
Right. Like it's not like a sci-fi.
No, I see. I'm not a sci-fi guy.
Mhm.
I'm a kind of war, Western guy. And I don't buy, if you say you have to first believe this world that we're creating and then there's characters in it. I'm just not. I've never watched Star Trek.
Sure.
I'm not that. This is about today,
Right.
small town, and these people come up, and I think, yeah, okay, you time traveled from your cult,
Right.
like the reasonable kind of guy, and then you have to believe it, and then you do believe it, and then you try to figure out what's going on.
So how do you? I was watching the trailer for it because it premieres tonight at 10 on ABC. But the whole idea is how did they end up getting into the past and what did they do? And one of them can jump really high and
Well,
through
they've
windows
ju-
and
if
stuff. And
they've-
but can't you just ask them where'd you come from? What did you?
Yeah, we do,
Yeah.
and they tell us.
Oh.
But
What are you
it's
gonna no one believes it. When someone says I traveled from a different
Exactly.
time, you're always
Right,
like you're
right,
a dick.
right.
No one
It's
believes you.
Obviously, it's not. Obviously, it's not a show where we that's at the end of this. Oh, they're time travelers. It's right away.
We know what they are.
Here's the
Right.
deal: there's war and destruction, and we left, and we know the history. We went to a time that is really peaceful and productive, and where it's not cloudy all the time. The writers really did a lot of research into things. They talked to all these scientists and NASA and that. With technology, let's say that time travel was figured out. Let's say there was some kind of, and these guys didn't laugh. They were like, look, How far in the future would that be? 500 years, 600 years? And they were like, no, technology is going so fast. It's like 150 years. Like genetic genetic reenhancement, or these we feed them and they're like, is this real meat? Like they don't eat meat anymore. It's genetically
right.
There's all these things that are being worked on now.
Right.
So there's all those aspects to it that I think are really interesting. It's slow moving and it's in believable characters. And
if I could time travel, I would do something just worthless to annoy everybody. Like I would go back to last Tuesday and I would buy a hat that I'd been thinking of buying. And I would tell people that's what I did with my time travel. They'd be like, you asshole, you could have done anything. You could have stopped Hitler. I'm like, I just wanted that hat.
Yeah.
I went back to Tuesday and bought a hat.
And you only get one go, by the way.
One go.
One go back and forth, one round trip.
Yeah. I left it in a cab.
Yeah. I'm going to go back and tell myself in the past, don't leave your hat.
Yeah, don't take it off.
Put it on.
Hair.
Yes, don't do the thing you always do where you see a lady and you tip your cap. You look like an asshole anyway. Leave it on your head. Yeah. That's an interesting concept for a show.
It is. It is. It's I don't know. I thought it was interesting and there you go. There you have it. So I did it.
Is there any intimidation on your part when the trailers come on and they're like, from the creators of Lost comes this, and you're like, oh my God, Lost was this huge show. Do we have this pressure of being this huge show?
Yeah, but to be honest with you, I never watched that show.
Right.
I've never seen one, and I know that sounds crazy. I just don't. I don't like watching stories.
That's cool.
So what do you watch?
I like movies.
Yeah.
And I watch the news.
Right.
And I watch hey, it's the championship game tonight, that kind of thing.
Right.
You don't like something that's episodic.
I have, but now that you can actually watch things, binge watch, it's a little more interesting to me.
Much better.
It's less of a commitment. You can just go, oh.
Right.
And that's why I think audiences are getting really smart. And now networks have to get really smart with what they put on. Right? They're competing against really good storytelling. Yeah. And they can't write for the commercial anymore. Because what's the percentage of people that are actually sitting down with popcorn going, commercial? Well, that's good because I have to pee.
Right.
Like, how many people for real?
I mean, even if you're just watching, ABC at 10 o'clock, you're still pausing on the DVR, running upstairs, grabbing a sandwich, coming back in, playing.
So I was like, don't write for commercials. Just write a show.
And then pause where, go to the commercial when you have to.
It just goes and then you come back into a scene.
Yeah, writing for commercials is exactly it. That's how shows were structured. It was like, 3 acts.
There was like an arc.
Yeah.
And that's what made them kind of seem like the same show over
and they all had
again.
to kind of be self-contained because it was this idea that even though there's an arc that travels through the whole season or whatever, we don't know if they're going to watch every episode. So we have to have a nice little ending at the end of the show.
Right.
Which is now it feels more like they're getting into this better thing, which is a season of TV becomes this long movie where a story kind of gets told throughout, right?
Yeah, it was character driven.
Yes.
And it's, and there are plenty of examples of that working that you would think, 20 years ago, like, no, that's not going to work.
Yeah.
And people are pretty smart.
We have 1 minute left, by the way, and because I'm working on a show right now. I'm doing a show. It's political, and it's about like the whole U.S. Russia thing and how our problems are solved with dance.
With the dance?
With dance.
The dance off?
Do you have a name for it? Or?
Not yet, no. But
okay, but it's
our
more
problems are
just
solved with dance.
Yeah,
like a street dance, like dance, like.
Yeah. Just with a lot of dancing.
That's smart, man.
Yeah,
I think that is
show.
the secret that we haven't really.
Like really serious, but a musical.
Yeah. And there's like a lot of Russians and Americans were dancing.
And they're like,
getting the issues out there.
Right. The issues of the day solved through dance.
Through dance.
Yeah, that's I think, a great idea.